Lily has told me the whole Lorenzo, do you confess to the murder of Caesar?
Look who's finally developed a conscience. What kind of disciple murders their own master? I hope it was worth it, because they'll be hell to pay.
Looks like it's all over. What should we do next, Lenny? Should we start preparing for your
Let me think. Let's rendezvous with Lynette and Gemma first. With
Good point! We should go tell...
Looks like no more free coffee.
Ah, you're back. You were so quick. I've only just finished my third dessert.
Your third? Lynette, come on, we've talked about this. Everything in moderation. You're not gonna have any room left for dinner now.
It's fine. I'll shift to exercise mode and jog off the excess sugar.
That's besides the point. Well, it's done now, but try to eat a more balanced diet in the...
Point taken.
Did everything go okay?
Of course! Lorenzo was no match for us.
Gosh, that's amazing. I had my suspicions about Lorenzo, but
It's okay, we understand. But you don't need to be scared anymore.
I always wanted to report. I was so afraid. Thank you all.
Thank you all for clearing Caesar's name. I never would have guessed that Lorenzo was the real Phantom Weasel. He never showed any signs that they... to think at least his soul can finally rest in peace now, thanks to your efforts.
If
Don't blame yourself, Gemma.
Yeah, you still have the rest of your life to live. Caesar wouldn't want to see you spending it feeling guilty.
Cheer up, Gemma. My brother's doing this show will be...
in Caesar's honor.
Great. We'll see you tomorrow evening.
Don't worry, we'll be there. No way are we gonna Wait. Paimon feels like we're forgetting something. Oh, yes! Lenny changed the topic back in the workshop, so we didn't get a chance to bring it up. Oh, well. Paimon's excited to see another of Linny's magic.
Not this time. My brother's going solo today, so I'll be watching with you.
Good evening, ladies and the great magician Linny has prepared a spectacular show.
Wow!
Thank you all so much for coming. Now, prepare...
Exciting stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it's just...
No wonder. Caesar was a... So, how did you...
Well, I was out on the street once. Children love magic because they're willing to believe in things that can't be rationally explained. Caesar had this amazing way of bringing them into a dreamlike world, and somehow
Aw, that sounds so...
it was with a flower. He took it in his hand, snapped his fingers, and it magically appeared on my head. I was so happy that day.
Oh, that's so cute!
Is that right? Then he's a romantic at heart, just like Caesar. After all, you never know when the people dearest to you might...
That's right. Paimon doesn't really know how to comfort you, but...
Right. Yes, you can breathe easy.
See? Even the Phantom Weasel! Lorenzo escaped? Where is he?
What do you mean?
As Linny once said, a performer's job is to commit fully to their role and put on a flawless performance for their audience. But once the bag of tricks is empty and the curtain falls, it's time to end the show. It's been 10 years, Gemma. Aren't you tired of the grieving widow act? I think it's time to put an end to it.
What are you talking about? Traveler, Paimon doesn't like where this is going.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will now be a brief intermission, after which Linny will perform the most electrifying act. The final performance will take place outside of the Opera House, so please make your way outside.
The Phantom Weasel never did like public places, did they? Don't worry, this place will be quiet soon.
Dear me, this is awkward, isn't it? And unfortunately, I'm all out of gadgets, so I'm afraid I can't do any tricks to liven up. This is a big mistake for a magician to make. But thankfully, I do have a backup plan.
Linny? Don't we have more important things to— Lynette accused Gemma of being the real Phantom Weasel a moment—
All in good time. Magicians are good at guessing what people are thinking. I know the questions you want to ask.
Really? Well then—
Let's go back to the very beginning. A decade ago, when the Phantom Weasel was terrorizing the court of Fontaine, she never missed a target, never left a trace, and no treasure was safe from her thieving hands. But as her infamy grew, so did the readiness of the police, and her opportunities to act became Of course, she could not simply take this lying down, and before long she found her ticket to freedom. She would create a scapegoat, a false weasel to close the chapter on her behalf. After weighing her options, she set her sights on a renowned magician, Caesar. After all, magic and theft shared enough similarities for people to buy the story when the truth came out.
So, being the master deceiver she was, the weasel easily earned Caesar's trust. Now, all that remained was to frame him for her countless crimes. But as she was considering how to make her move, she noticed Caesar's aggrieved pupil, and a new thought entered her mind. Maybe I don't need to get my hands dirty after all. At her encouragement, Lorenzo tampered with Caesar's magic box, causing him to fall to his death. Afterwards, Lorenzo seized his master's property, and the weasel set about tarnishing Caesar's reputation. Two co-conspirators committed the perfect crime.
I've got to hand it to you. You're both exceptional storytellers. But I just have one question. You seem to think that I am the villain in this tale. What's brought this on, Linny?
Don't worry, Lorenzo said nothing, but I never believed that he was the weasel, and in fact, my investigation only made me more certain of that. He was too forthcoming with his confession, as if there was something else he was trying to hide.
How disappointing. So you'd sooner trust Lorenzo than me, even without a shred of evidence?
A magician is an expert at playing the audience to get the With a little help from Lorenzo, you put on a very convincing performance. The lovesick fiancé, whose devotion to her betrothed is Caesar was maligned and hated by all for 10 years, but you? Everyone sympathized with your plight. Who would suspect for 1 second that the lovely young lady always seen weeping in front of Caesar's grave was actually the mastermind behind his demise? No, not that poor lady. Perish the thought.
Wait, so you mean the whole intimidation thing was just a hoax? Gemma and Lorenzo were both in on it? But why would Lorenzo agree to that? And why didn't he sell her out, even at the end, instead of him?
Yes, why indeed? Maybe Gemma herself could enlighten us on that question.
Well, Linny, if you're so confident having killed Caesar with his own hands, Lorenzo was plagued by overwhelming guilt. Revealing the Phantom Weasel's true identity would serve no purpose. But if the Weasel remained free, then she could take care of Lorenzo's love.
An excellent answer.
Is that right? Well, don't let me bore you. If you'd care to change the topic to something more interesting.
As a matter of fact, there's one thing I'd really like to understand. Why would the real Weasel have targeted things that only have value to other people?
Of course. After all, we're just telling stories here, aren't we? If I had to guess, I would say that the real Weasel must have had a terrible childhood. Left to fend for herself after her parents died young. Betrayed. Scorned. She'd scrounge waste paper from garbage bins to This was her only source. Once again, This was a fate too cruel for it. I detest the happiness. I will rob them of everything they hold to be.
That's some pretty...
Does this story
Yes, it is quite to my tastes. Thank you for help.
Huh. That's right! What drove you to write that letter, Gemma? Because without that, none of this would have ever come to light.
She didn't write the letter.
After 10 long years, I'd hoped that the Phantom Weasel would be consigned to the history books by now. But it seems like someone still wasn't ready to let her finally be at peace. Linny. Or should I call you the Phantom Copycat now? You were the one who posted that letter outside the Opera House.
Very sharp, Phantom Weasel. Still as shrewd as ever. Well, no need for me to be coy about it. Our goal was to clear Caesar's name. The most straightforward way to change the public's impression of Caesar was to force the Weasel to show themselves.
That's it? You had no other agenda?
Of course we did. We made it quite clear in the letter, I believe. I shall take from you that which you hold most dear, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
10 years ago? You mean Caesar's death? Wait. Oh, I get it. You were those two obnoxious kids. It's been so long. He taught you magic back then, didn't he? For what, 10 days or something? And you went to all this trouble. Why? Because you feel like you still owe him something?
We remember all our debts, however great or small. 10 years ago, Caesar's reputation was torn to shreds, and his legacy was thrown out. 10 years on, and no one cares what the truth is anymore. But we did not forget. And so we came to find you.
And? What exactly did you take from me?
Free? Do you really think so? Caesar once told me that even though the world is filled with lies and falsehoods, we must find our... I think that applies to you too. Truth can take many forms. Prized possessions with nostalgic value, fervent hopes and dreams, and irreplaceable people. Life took many things from you, and those wounds never heal.
What are you trying to...
I'm saying that for the last 10 years, you've been living a rather uneventful life. Perhaps that's because you found something other than a life of crime to fill the... Back to Lorenzo for a second. He knew who you were and the things you'd done. You're more than just accomplices in murder. You're the only real friends each other has. So I think... But that truth is gone now. And I guarantee you.
Congratulations on your freedom, Gemma.
Your freedom will cost you dearly. From now on, you'll be all alone in a world full of lies and falsehoods. I do hope you'll be able to bear it.
Gather round, one and all. The time has now come for the amazing... I'm sure you're all wondering what he has planned for the grand...
A high-altitude escape?
I'm sure you all remember the magician Caesar. This was the very trick, but we have now learned that Caesar was wrongly accused, and that the real Weasel has now confessed to their crime.
Guess that's my cue to leave. Whew. I've been... Traveler, Paimon, I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. There may be a lot of people watching tonight, but you alone are my true witnesses.
Lenny, you two hid a lot from Caesar. He went to his grave without ever knowing your secrets. So what about now? You don't have to tell lies to end up isolated and alone.
You're wrong. I'm nothing like you.
So,
Like Lenny said, when you're ready, let's head out.
but what about Gemma?
She'll figure out what's best for her soon enough. Oh,
All right. Well,
Magic should be mysterious, surprising, and defy logic. Magic is hard work. Every single movement has to be practiced thousands of times.
it's alright. We're used to that.
We're sorry. You've taught us so much, but we can't tell you the whole truth.
It's okay. Do you still remember what I told you? This world is full of lies and falsehoods. I only hope that one day you can find your own truth.
What about you? Have you found your truth?
Magic is my truth. I want to perform a magic trick so great that people will always think of me when they talk about it. For a magician, what greater honor could there be?
Look! Behold! Linny is sealed inside the box. Will he manage to escape? 10 years ago, Caesar attempted this very trick, and it was at this precise moment that...
Watch out!
Mysterious. Surprising. And logic-defying. Isn't that right? This honor belongs to you, Caesar. I'm just sorry it's a little late.
One minute he was falling, and then...
How could he possibly have done?
How mysterious. I didn't blink once. He just...
What a heart-stopping magic show! Caesar's name has finally been cleared, and Fontaine's new star magician Linny has fulfilled... Looks like everyone really loved Linny's grand finale! Paimon doesn't see Linny anywhere! Oh, Lynette said he'd be waiting for us at the usual hunt. But, oh, you mean the... Yeah, that's probably it. This whole magic show kind... Alright, let's go look... Paimon was scared.
Magic is a performance art. I was honestly a little nervous during the live performance. The thought of falling, suddenly feeling weightless, seeing the sky and the ground. Sometimes, I can't help but wonder, did he regret taking Gemma and Lorenzo on? Or did he believe that it was his own slip-up right until the...
You know, Paimon's been wanting to ask you about something ever since we were in Caesar's workshop. You learned magic from Caesar once, didn't you?
After I joined the House of the Hearth. To be honest, Lynette and I had an agenda when we approached him. I told you about my past before, remember? As a young boy, I survived by secretly learning magic from street performers. I'd watch their tricks and try to figure out how they were done. But I quickly realized that observation alone could only get me so far. I needed to learn how to improve my sleight of hand. We were gifted enough.
So that's why you sought Caesar out?
Yes. We figured there was no harm in asking, but it took us by surprise that he was so willing to teach us. In all, we only... For instance, but in truth, what amazed me was how the trust is a beautiful...
Lenny...
Still worried about... But don't worry, I'm used to it now. From the mansions of the elite to the House of the Hearth, lies... After Caesar went on tour, we became busy with our missions. That night, I remembered his smile. To keep secrets is to put up walls. You only realize how much someone...
Yeah, we've had to say our delicious food. You know, Traveler, doesn't that kinda make you Paimon's truth?
Exactly. It's the same for me and Lynn. Life has taken plenty... That's why the darkness never can... Alright.
It was amazing!
Whoa, that's a bit of a tall order, I'm afraid. The show's just finished, so my sleeves are just...
Aw, come on! Surely you can...
Oh, alright then. I'll give it a go. Watch closely. I have a flower in my hand.
You liar! There's nothing in your hand!
Huh? My goodness, you're right. But I could...
3?
Now, have another look around. Maybe the flowers appeared...
Really? Let's see. Wow, there it is! Oh, this is a different flower from the last time, right? This one's called... But more importantly, Paimon has to know how the trick is done, please!
Well, if you want to learn magic, you'll have to...
Fine.
Since you asked so nicely, I'll share one little tip with you. Namely, the student of magic cannot solely rely on others being prepared to reveal their secret.
Is that it?
Look at the time. We shouldn't linger here too long. Thanks again for coming to see my... I look forward to...
Shall we head back down too? Oh, Paimon, let's head to the steamboat.
I'm very sorry, Charlotte, but my sister and I are quite—
Oh, please, Linny. I'll only take a moment of your time. Huh? What's happening here?
I spent all night writing my piece about the Phantom Weasel, and it was good, but just as dawn broke, I suddenly received—
That was quick.
Too late, bro. That was quick, you say? It sounds like I've got some catching up to do. Please. Aha! My instincts did not lead—
Maybe watching my high-altitude escape trick reminded her of a better time with Caesar, and she could no longer ignore the voice of her conscience.
Huh. Okay, then. Oh, I remember now! You and Gemma were nowhere to be found after the show. Quickfire question! Where did you all go after the show?
Oh, we went to the cemetery and Linny did a private magic trick just for us. Actually, glad you mentioned it, because that reminds Paimon, guess what?
What? I don't recall ever having received a rainbow rose from you myself. Is this supposed to mean that they're more important to you than your own sister?
No, I just—
What now? Oh, this is getting—
Seems like this interview wasn't meant to be. Well, never— Forgive my persistence, but when there's explosive news, apparently one— All right, I guess I'll leave you to continue.
Lynette? Oh, really?
Phew. You— Please, take good— I'd be really upset if—
Every journey has its
Bow your head.
Osmanth.
House is sacrosanct. None may go in and out as they please.
Stabilize! No use hiding back there!
No, my soul!
I will have order! Gather!
Some you win, and some you lose.
Okay. But...
Don't worry. So, I went ahead. Freshly cooked fish served with Klee's favorite.
Okay. I promise I'll stay in the city. Anyway, I'm gonna go look for...
Is someone looking for us?
Mr. Honorary Knight and Paimon! Klee was just thinking about you, and then you appeared! How'd you do that?
Oh, little cutie and Paimon. You're here just in time. Looks like I won't have to go to the trouble of writing.
We had some time on our hands and wanted to look for something to read in the library. It's a new game Lisa made for me. We came up with the name together. You're amazing, Paimon. You remembered the name so quickly.
Whoa, you can design games, Lisa?
I merely drew some inspiration from shrooms. As long as we keep Klee happy during these unique...
Oh, now that Paimon...
It's not too serious, but the recently, fish species native to Luckily, Klee noticed some fish she'd never seen before while she snuck. If it weren't for Klee, I'm afraid most of the local species would have already And if a change occurs in the underwater ecosystem...
I saved the day!
So that's...
The investigation team, to avoid disturbing the investigation team, Jane said that Klee... Albedo's busy making...
But I'm not bored anymore because Lisa invented the...
Alright, the game... Please enjoy yourself.
Wait,
Don't you think it'd be a little unfair? Besides, as the librarian, I still have my basic... Run along now. Have fun playing with Klee.
Okay, then...
We're here, Mr. Honorary Knight. This is... Whoa! All right, teach us how to play Glee.
Thank you for
Silence! Let the mighty be humble! Settle down! Solidify! Stabilize! Wipe out!
Everybody stand back!
Silence! Solidify! This is order! Gather! Stabilize! Yeah!
Let's light it up!
Gather! Stabilize! Bow your head.
Let's light it up! Teamwork is strict!
I will have order. Solidify! Settle down! Go!
Yeah! Adventure time! Off we go!
Bombs away! Stabilize!
I'm going in!
Silence! Be sanctified. Gather! This is order. Go! Bow your head.
Let's light it up! Teamwork is dreamwork!
Stabilize! Order guide you! Silence! Water jet! Bow your head. The time's neck. Wipe out!
Out of the way!
This is order. Gather!
Get out of here! Off we go! I'm going in!
Silence!
Let's light it up!
Stabilize! Go! Settle down! I will have order! Solidify! Let the mighty be humbled! Gather! Order guide you!
Everybody stand back! Adventure time!
Stabilize!
Off we go! Off we go! Adventure time!
Stabilize! Gather!
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Solidify! Bow your head. This is order.
Go!
Stabilize! Settle down! Be sanctified.
Wipe out!
Solidify!
Everybody stand!
I will have order!
Let's light it up! Off we go!
Gather!
Let's light it up! Adventure time!
Stabilize! Solidify!
Water jet!
Let's light it up! Off we go! Teamwork is dreamwork!
Gather! This is order! Solidify! Silence! The tides beckon.
Bombs away!
Order guide you. Settle down.
Get out of here! Take cover! I'm going in!
Sure. Stabilize. Silence. Solidify.
Off we go! Let's light it up! Yeah.
Water jet!
Stabilize. I will have order. Settle down. Let the mighty be humbled!